more important to me than the whole the thing we fall for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of men are really practical in that respect. You know, it's like, you know, yeah, I love you, but you know, I'm not necessarily super googly eyed at this moment.
How you feel about that?
I got a question for you, Rodney. How you doing, brother?
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm so happy that you on here, man. I'm sitting on here with 4 women. It's so much of that estrogen rolling. I'm so glad to see you and hear you. But listen, I wanted to know, what advice would you give to other men? Because when it comes to making that decision to listen to your wife in an area where you really are the one that's the expert in what you do, but this person is giving you advice. I've had conversations with other men, and some of them just are like, man, they don't know what they're talking about. In fact, I had a conversation last night. A brother was telling that he thought that Andre 3000 and Erykah Badu were just completely separate in what they did. But the reality was she had an impact in terms of what he wrote. And some of the lyrics, she might have
actually his muse in a lot of respects. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So how do you accept that? What would you say to brothers that's listening to the program right now in terms of accepting that other, in that voice that could be the voice of wisdom, but because we're so stuck on our pride or ego or whatever, what would you say is the key to unlocking that, to have the success you had?
You know what, dog? That's a great question. I mean, you know, as men, we really try to walk around as if we got it all together most of the time. Most of the time, we kind of don't. And sometimes it's trial and error. I mean, you choose somebody as a partner to be your partner, and so you kind of have to move as such. So if you have chosen a partner, just know that person brings a certain skill set to the relationship, and you would be a fool not to use it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, and so like even in our case, as Nick was saying about my wife, like I know, like my wife doesn't really get nuance. Like she doesn't care that you got to work with this person again.
Yes. Right.
She's just like, look, they're not a good person, period.
Right.
And so what I've had to teach her is the nuance, but she's taught me that other thing that says, yo, sometimes you got to let people go.
Right. Right.
You know, and so in that respect, you got to know that you're going to complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
When did you accept that? I mean, how did that go for you? Because, I mean, you had to, like, remove things that were deeply ingrained in you to accept what she's saying. You're like, how did you do that?
I mean, you know, it comes with maturity, man. Like, I remember one instance, right? I was doing comedy in the Bay Area, and, you know, after the clubs, they would open up the bar, and we would, you know, drink and kick it. It was comedy is very social.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would come home drunk, and Mom was like, boy, where were you? What was you doing? I was like, well, I was this business. And she was like, yeah, but you're drunk.
Yeah.
And it just really kind of hit me at that moment. I was like, yo, I am drunk. And this is how can I do business if I'm not in my complete mind?
Right.
And that was a wake-up call for me. And you're hard-pressed to get Rodney Perry publicly intoxicated ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because of those moments. And so it's stuff like that where she really kind of, you know, you might not like it as a man, and then also your woman needs to know it's going to happen in your time. Like, if she thinks you're going to do something right now because it's the right thing, she's going to get her feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So do you, Rodney, it's Cam. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I don't think I introduced myself.
Hey, Cam.
What's going on?
Cam. Oh, Cam.
Hey, Dre, write that down. We're going to use that. Being a comedian, this is not even a topic of franchise player, but I feel like you're an underrated comedian.
Me too.
And that was my question. Do you see yourself as that? Or does it even matter to you? Do you just go up there and you do your thing not really looking for the titles or, you know, being categorized. But I mean, you answered it already, but can you dive into that a little bit?
Absolutely. Well, this is the thing. I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't ever think about it. Rodney Perry is cold. I mean, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
And yes, I did talk about myself in the third
person.
But you have to know who you are and what you are, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once you know that, then you're able to even achieve any goal. And so for me, I've had my peers to blow up, and I've seen cats, you know, but the win is really more than that. Your win is not necessarily the money or the fame or the fortune. Your win is the people around you, your family, your friends. That's the win. That's what I learned.
Okay.
Right. So where you can easily get in yourself and say, yo, I'm underrated. But it's like, it's also one of those situations, as long as you're in the game, you're in the game. So I'm very comfortable with my position, but I'm always looking to improve my position.
Good.
And you got to know, you know, with achieving the goal opens yourself up to another goal.
Yeah.
Right.
So being that sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Being that you are a vet in the game and you know who you are, how do you feel about these upcoming IG comedians and their rise to, I guess, the celebrity status? Do you feel like they've earned their stripes, or you just got to charge it to the game, being like this being a shift in the entertainment business?
Oh, you got to charge it to the game. I mean, to be honest, it's just a new way to get famous.
Right.
It is.
You know, like when I came in, you need to get on TV or film, and people were like, you know, that was the thing. And now it's just not that. It's like the fame comes from your social media, and so you can't get upset with that.
Right. I guess you gotta let them have their shine too, huh?
And it's, you know, every era creates a new moment.
Right.
And so, and the moment, what you can't control is the moment can take care of you. So, you know, who am I to diss a young man, a young woman that's got famous that way? I'm not mad. Now, I do like, personally, just respect my craft if you're going to stand on that stage.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I'm an artist, you know.
You sensitive about your?
Yes.
I'm sensitive about my shit.
Do you have a
really
favorite IG comedian?
I like Desi Banks. I like I like a few of them, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw this to you, Rodney. This is Nick. You know, reading your book, you said, and you said that, you know, during the course of your career, a few people gave you a quote unquote shot or chance to either be on stage or to host, or how many times, or have you taken, or what are your thoughts about taking these new IG comedians and putting them on a platform?
I mean, like, you know, Kevin Hart has done a few things
Yeah.
to help those guys. I'm not opposed to that. This is the reality. They don't need us. They don't need Rodney Perry. I mean, you got to think. I talked to one of the guys, Desi Banks, who I mentioned. This guy has 1 million followers.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
And he's like, Rodney, man, I want to get on TV. I'm like, why? Like, you have more viewers than a TV show.
Wow.
You literally, a single video he produced gets more views than a show on Bounce TV.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, I'm not exaggerating it in the least. So when you think about it that way, you're like, yo, it really kind of doesn't make sense. Like I understand when they're arrogant.
Right.
Because it's like, how could you not be arrogant?
That's deep.
I'm tripping off the views right now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I need to
right.
make a video.
Wow.
Right, we in the wrong
we doing
business.
something wrong. Yeah, really.
We in the wrong. We need to ask him. But like, wait a minute. So
Exactly.
Clearly. In the wrong
man,
Yeah, that's cool that he even felt comfortable to come and talk to you about that and to see if you could help him out like that. That says a lot about where you're at too.
Yeah.
But I extend myself to the guys, man, because at the end of the day, people just want to feel like they're doing the right thing,
Hey, y'all,
and continue to. I'm sorry, they want to feel like they're doing the right thing, and they want some validation. We all want that, and so cats like the Desi Banks of the world and the Miss Shirlene's and those guys.
hilarious.
Yeah.
They're funny people at the core of who they are, and so for me, I just got to be Uncle Rodney and throw him. If I got a jewel of wisdom, I can give it to him sometimes.
Yeah. In your book, Rodney, you said that I think you said that Eddie Murphy was the person that you listened to, watch. You listen to his album every day, a lot during the day. Have you ever had a chance to sit down with him to chop it up about comedy, about career, about life?
I've been to his house for a party, not really to sit down with him. I wish I had got that opportunity.
Yeah.
But I definitely have been around him a few times.
Okay.
Hey, Ron, this is as if you didn't know.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Oh, we rapping?
Right.
Yeah, not really. Listen, man, your comedy is genius in my opinion, because I hear a lot of the wisdom that you speak in your comedy, and it's still funny. You teach a lot of life lessons, and you make it funny. Is that something that you think we need more of that? Because it seems like a lot of the comedy is kind of leading off into things or areas that aren't really good for building the individuals. So how are you moving forward with, I guess, your maturity, man? It's valuable. So how are you incorporating more of that into your comedy, or is that something that just winds up being put in the book and then hopefully they grab the book? You know what I mean?
I mean, the reality is, dog, and it's a great question. I mean, I can't honestly say that a 20-something-year-old Rodney Perry was all that mature. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I've changed. I've grown over the years.
Right.
And so you got to give people a chance. Like my buddy, right? He's a father of like 6 kids, and he wants his kids to be these super Christians. And I'm like, dude, you were horrible.
Right.
Like, stop. You were not that dude, and now you want to make your kids into these separate kids. It's just not fair.
Yeah. Do you have a mentor?
You know what? I've had a lot of mentors through my career, through my life. Steve Harvey was great to me.
Really?
Sid the Entertainer was great for me. Sid is a real deal, great guy, and I got a chance to learn a lot. I consider Monique a mentor and friend.
Right.
Who else? It's just so many people that feed into you and so into you, during the course of your career.
So the friendship overlapped in the mentoring as well.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's really good.
So I got a question. Okay, this is free. I'm sorry. So I see you did the Monique show.
It's a bunch of y'all in there.
Yeah, the whole team. We today, Rodney.
Gang.
Yeah, we ganged up.
We did. But no, you did the Monique show for a couple of years, like hosted on there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about that whole situation that happened with her, where she like just blew up because of the Netflix deal?
Well, you know what? Before she told the world, she told me, and so I had some knowledge that it was going down. I support my friend, period. As I would support you guys.
Okay.
And I agree with her on almost all of her points. I don't know if I would have executed it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about asking for a boycott or a ban of anything is you got to have a game in play.